Hi everyone, this is Chris from Cam Designs Pattern Co. and it's a tutorial today about how to do a zipper stay using fabric. This is a technique that's normally used with leather, and I want to show you how easy it is to do it with fabric as well. This is my preferred technique. If it's not something you wish to do, you can use the other methods. Now on this one I have two different sizes to show you. A number 3 I use, and I'm going to use this template. I use a cutout of 3/8 of an inch in the inside. I have a 1/2 inch all the way around the outside, so it's pretty easy to make. If you're going to use zipper tape, I cut these at 1 3/8, and for a number 5 zipper, I use a 1/2 inch, and I cut my stays at 1 1/2 inches, and extra 1/2 inch on each side for however big you need your zipper window. The Decaville Heavy I have already adhered or fused to the back side of this piece of fabric. You can see how I have it. I folded it in half, and that's how I center it on. And just to give you an idea, here's the difference between the number 3 and the number 5 zipper template that I use for the stay that I use. Not much difference, but just enough to give that extra need for the width of the zipper tape. And it can also be used with, this is a 4 1/2 inch and a regular number 3 YKK zippers. They work as well. For Bontex or Craft Tex, you will need to glue the zipper stay to the wrong side of your fabric. I'm going to take some Craft Tex and run a line of glue along your opening. And then add some around the outside. Using your placement, center placement for your zipper, you'll line up your stay on the wrong side, glue it down, and allow it time to dry. What I will do is, while that one is drying, I'll show you the next step. You're going to kind of want to draw a line or cut a line. You're going to end up cutting a line down the center of this. So, and on the ends, you're going to want to stop about a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to kind of draw just a little line there to give me guidance. You want to center this, because you have to, once you cut it, you're going to be folding it over the edge of the stay and gluing it. And on each end, I will draw it first. I'm going to cut from corner and come out, kind of like making a triangle on the end. So using an X-Acto knife, make sure that's cut all the way through, and then do the other end. Now, just to help kind of give shape, I take my finger and I run it along the edge to kind of open that up. There's two ways you can do this with the zipper stay that is for a number 3. It's harder to use DST. It's easier to use it on a number 5 zipper stay window. So I'm going to run some Fabri-Tac glue right along the edge of this. It's not coming out very well, but I don't want to over glue it. I'm going to do it on the ends, run it along this line. I want these triangles to glue out. They can be a little tricky. And it probably at this point you're saying fabric cuts, fabric frays. I have a little trick for that as well. So if you're familiar to leather, you can use a boning tool. I am not a perfectionist at this. I rarely ever use that. I use my fingers and a little awl. This isn't really an awl, it's something I got with some other tools at Harbor Freight, but I kind of just hold the stay and I use my fingers. And once you've got the other one side down, well, it may come up a little bit, but you can add a little glue. And Fabri-Tac dries pretty quickly, so and when applying your zipper or going to a next step, you're going to be adding your DST over that. So yes, let's try the fingers. Just showing that you don't have to run out and buy a tool you don't have, but if you have one, you can try using it. Okay, now these corners, what I do too, because every now and then you're going to see some little frays, but we can take care of that. I usually put a little glue over this corner area. I use the Fabri-Tac because it doesn't bleed into the fabric like a fray check does. And you can take your awl and put a little bit in the glue and then put a little bit in your corner. Yes, my fingers always are full of glue. And then you can also flip it around to the outside and just run this in towards the wrong side of your fabric, and that will make sure that you don't have any little fraying strands in that corner. And for some that sew a lot, like I said, the other method may work better for you, but I always like to give options. That way then you can use whichever method works for you. We have a little bit of area right there. Make sure that's touched down. This is why I kind of always use my hands. And there is your zipper window. Now it's time to install the zipper and the pocket lining. Flip it over to the wrong side. Add 2 pieces of DST, top and bottom of the zipper window. The zipper stay that's in the pattern is for a number 3 zipper, and this is zipper tape. My head is to the left. I'm going to remove the DST, and then I'm going to center the zipper in the window. Once you have your zipper centered, flip it over to the wrong side. Add 2 more pieces of DST. You can add it at the top of the zipper stay and at the bottom. Remove the DST from the bottom. Take your first lining piece. If you have directional fabric, you want to be looking at it right side up and in the direction of the pocket. You're going to flip it up this way and apply it to the DST. You're going to fold it down, leaving enough room so that your lining does not catch in your zipper when it's opened and closed. Remove the DST from the top. Take your lining, flip it wrong side up, and align it to the top edge of the pull, or to the top edge of the zipper stay. And again, fold it up, finger press it. You can add a couple of clips to hold that up out of the way. We're going to flip it to the right side and go over to the machine. I am going to start my stitch on this corner at the top of the zipper. We're going to come down, pivot, come along here to this corner, pivot, and back up to the top. And this is done at 1/8 of an inch. I'll do that and be right back. As you can see, now the stitching is done on the bottom of the zipper. I'm going to remove these clips. I'm going to put the 2 lining pieces right sides together, and you're going to notice that one is longer than the other. And rotate that right side up. But that's okay, we'll address that in a minute. I'm going to flip it back over to the right side. When I go over to my machine, I'm going to rotate it this way. I'm going to start at this corner. I'm going to stitch back over the stitching that's already there. Come to the corner, pivot, stitch along the zipper to the corner, pivot again, and I'm going to end my stitching at that corner. And I will be right back. Okay, I have all the top stitching on the zipper done. As you can see, the zipper opens very smoothly. Pull to the left. And now we're going to stitch the zipper closed. As I mentioned, one of these is longer than the other. And the reason I do this is because I'm sure I'm not the only one who has purchased a bag and had something in your pocket that punctured the lining and you lost it inside of your bag. So I fold this excess over. That way then if something happens to the seam, as anything is possible, and I actually loosen up my zipper stay, the sides up to the stitching on the zipper. I go to my machine and I sew down the sides along the bottom and back up the other side and through the zipper stay. I'll do that and be right back. I'm back and I have it all stitched. As you can see, if I lift the lining up, you can see the stitch line down the side of the zipper, along the bottom edge, and then up the other side again through the zipper stay. And your zipper pocket is done.